My name is William Goit. I am a licensed acupuncturist who's been helping people get healthy and stay healthy since 1986. You may know me as Professor Chi. In this video, I want to talk about the 4 rooms of the heart. Now, the rooms of the heart are not the chambers of the heart. We're not really speaking of the beating heart. We're speaking of the heart of feeling, the heart of aesthetic values, the heart of emotions that are true to who you are, and emotions that override the logic of the head and work with the workings of the logic and the mind in such a way that our life is beautiful and that feelings of peace and joy can override just survival. The heart is like the spice in life. It's what softens time. It's what makes the need to have to eat 3 times a day make sense. The heart is love, and not just love for your companion, and not just love of attraction, but love of life itself. The first room of the heart is awareness. We have to become aware of the love of the heart. We have to become aware that the heart is there. We have to become aware that there is a whole nother realm of life that's not just tied to survival and growing up and pleasing our parents in society and getting educated and all the things that it takes to grow up in this life. It usually starts to happen in our early 20s that we get an interpretation for what's going on in our life, and this kind of feeling of self-love falls on us, and we look around and perhaps in nature we see beauty around us, and perhaps we fall in love with someone, and this feeling, this heartfelt feeling overcomes us and seems really important. And you see a lot of young people becoming very romantic because they run into this awareness of the heart. And this awareness of the heart can be of all the reason you really need to live, which is wonderful. And balancing them with the head, ideally, is the way to make it grow. And because we run into the second room of the heart, and the second room of the heart is acceptance. And this is where we integrate the heart and the head, because we get this romantic feeling about love and ourself and the world of beauty, and then suddenly the world crashes in, the world of the mind and logic and survival crashes in and says, well, you can't have it just like that. It can't all be, just fun and games and rose-colored glasses. We've got to go to work, and we've got to make money. And we've got to get our, we've got to take care of our duty in life, and this is true. So acceptance is the second room of the heart, and it's very important, because if we don't learn some level of acceptance and a way for logic to lie side by side with aesthetic emotion, then we're going to have problems in our life, and we're going to be a bit of a dreamer and perhaps an escapee, somebody that turns to drugs and alcohol, or excessive amounts of travel, or whatever it is that makes us feel free and just in our heart. So finding that balance between logic and heartfelt feelings is the second room of the heart, or acceptance, learning some way to accept it into our life path. Then the third room of the heart is discernment. Now, we don't often think of discernment as a heartfelt feeling, but it really is, because once we've become aware of the heart, and then we've accepted those feelings of the heart as a part of us, well, then we need to find some discernment of how to make it work. I mean, how do you get these wonderful feelings that you have going on, how do you make them work in your life? There's a certain amount of discernment that has to happen, and sometimes it is kind of painful choices, like not being able to hang around with certain people. Perhaps there's certain people in your life that just won't accept you as when you're full of your heart, and you have to break away from those people. Perhaps you have some kind of work that you suddenly realize, oh my goodness, I can't do this anymore and still feel true to my heart. Or perhaps you live in a certain area that just doesn't work anymore for you. Perhaps it's some kind of, you want to be more out in the country, or maybe a big city, and so you need to make the discernment, the decision to break away from the environment that no longer works for you. So the third room of the heart is discernment, and it's a very important stage in the development of heartfelt feeling, to where we can move into the fourth room of the heart. And the fourth room of the heart is ever new joy. Joy is the realm of the heart, and to express joy in our life is not just as easy as saying, oh, I'm going to become joyful now. Because if we haven't become aware or accepted or found the discernment to have these heartfelt feelings actually fit in our life, then expressing that joy is going to be difficult. It's actually probably one of the more difficult things to do in life, is to make room for your heart, to find a way to have joyful expression in your way of survival in this life, in your trials and tribulations that it takes to survive, to get along in society, to find some friends and not just be lonely, a lonely little dreamer. So joy actually takes a construct, a very big construct of situation that it can grow in life. I mean, there you can go and just get away from everybody and go live in the woods, I suppose, and just be, this little joyful little hermit. But generally speaking, we want to still have the life, a normal life. And to have a normal life that's full of joy, we need to, or ideally, we have a certain amount of discernment, acceptance, and awareness that allows this ever new joy to bubble up in our life. Now, joy is a very interesting phenomena, because joy is probably the highest of all the emotions. And joy is not just happiness. It's not like just, like a giddy little kid. Joy is can be a very adult feeling. It's a very feeling of serenity in the face of adversity. It's the feeling of seeing aesthetic value in ugly situations. Joy can be service to your fellow man. Joy can be service to your own self. Some people find tremendous joy in adorning themselves. Some people find joy in social situations. So joy is not a single faceted thing. Joy is a multi-faceted emotion or way of being that can embrace all kinds of ways of being a human being. Finding your joy in life, learning how to express your heartfelt feelings in such a way that you can get along with people, still take care of yourself, and yet have that hidden reservoir of joy that bubbles up and keeps you buoyant in this life of time and gravity, is the greatest gift you can give to yourself. Discovering your heart and how to express heartfelt feelings in this world that sometimes can be a little less than wonderful is the best thing you can do for yourself and for your fellow man, because everybody likes to be around joyful people. Discover ways for yourself to develop the heart and counter all the world of logic and overthinking with the ever new joy of the heart in a good way.